Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we are going to test the Drakul Pylon. Going to have some people attacking me and review the footage and see some of its strengths and weaknesses. And then we're going to swap as well the fire turret in its place for a couple flights just to get an opinion from the flyer whether or not the pylon made it more challenging. And we'll be able to see it from the video clips as well. But first, let's quickly review my opinion of the Drakul Pylon so far. I actually really like the tower because it steals health, meaning that it has more survivability, and it also makes the dragon more susceptible to damage from your other towers. Now, usually I'm all about what can keep my towers alive longer rather than what can kill the dragon faster. But in this situation, I actually really like the Drakul Pylon's ability to make dragons die quicker because it appears to increase the damage they take quite significantly, allowing you to destroy dragons at a higher tier than you typically would, especially if they make a mistake. Now, if you just have a fire flak to decrease the damage that they deal, they might not destroy your towers quick enough, but if they're skilled flying or if they're just high enough health dragons, then they can outlast it and eventually destroy all your towers. But if they make a mistake or if you land a couple shots with the increased damage from this tower in particular, it can actually knock the dragon out of the sky quickly. Another thing I love about it is with the current placement I have it at, it synergizes very well with my other towers. As you can see here, when Naja uncloaks, the ice flak hits, disabling the shield, then the Drakul Pylon hits right before the howitzer hits, as well as my lightning towers, which made the dragon die very quickly. Now we'll review a bunch of flights with different dragons against my level 75 towers. They're all 75 except the last two back lightning towers. So initially, Ronin's doing fairly well, fires off an entrap to the back towers, but all the shots go off right before it disables them, and so Ronin unfortunately died. Now we have Pathox, and I was trying to avoid boosting the towers too much and healing too much. Pathox is maybe a little bit low level. You can see the shots are not doing quite as much damage as you might expect. And so he does struggle to destroy the towers. He does freeze those back towers initially, but as soon as they're unfrozen, the Pathox is dead. Now we have an Abyssal Gnarlith coming into my base with level 75 towers, and this highlights how if you make a mistake and get hit by the ice flak, with the Drakul Pylon, it really helps to destroy the stronger dragons. So he gets hit by the ice flak, then the Drakul Pylon makes him susceptible to increased damage. He gets hit by the lightning tower and the howitzer shot, which is not the super shot, so it does a significant amount of damage, and the Abyssal Dragon falls. The same thing happens here with Noctarn. He fires the snow on the ice flak, but it gets the super shot off right before it disables it, making him susceptible to all the incoming damage, and he dies. Now he brings in Orthopter, which is one of the Abyssal lineage dragons, and he actually does fairly well. He even uses one of the invisibility shields, but because I'm able to continue healing the towers, because sorcerers typically have trouble dealing enough damage with the regular breath attacks, I do outlast his invisibility shield, and my remaining towers, including the Drakul Pylon, finish him off quite quickly at the end. Now for the next couple attacks, I have put the fire flak back in place just to see how it is different and if maybe he does a little bit better on the attacks. Now, he does manage to do a little bit better, but because of all the healing and stuff, I am able to shoot him down. He does get hit by the howitzer shot, but it does not kill him because I have not used the pylon to increase the damage that it takes. So I would say that the Drakul Pylon did do better for my base against his Gnarlith. And this is another run with the Fire Flak with the Abyssal Gnarlith. Man, I am having trouble talking today. So you can see he takes out one of the towers. I am healing quite a bit. He does get hit by the howitzer again, doesn't die, and then he's able to fight through a couple more towers, do a little bit more damage, but I did eventually kill him again. Naja was actually one of the dragons that did the best against my base. This is another flyer testing out with me, and the success came when they got the ice flak down first and then the Drakul Pylon. I was not spamming mage drain shots because I wanted to complicate things as little as possible, but you can see once those towers are dead, Naja's not taking any damage when the shield stays active. However, the Drakul Pylon is a good tower to use against Naja, and that's because some defensive abilities do not block beam towers. Krelos is one of those dragons, as well as Namaka's shield and Fafnir as well. So you can see Krelos does take some damage from the beam attacks while in that speed demon spell. Now, as far as Naja's shield and the Drakul Pylon's beam, I'm not sure if it is intended because other beams do not go through Naja's shield. However, the Drakul Pylon's beam, at least at this point in time, appears to damage through the shield. As you can see, once that ice flak is dead and the shield is up, nothing else is doing damage except when the Drakul Pylon beam hits Naja. And you can see in this clip, he takes out the ice flak again first. I'm not mage draining. The shield remains active, so nothing else should be dealing damage, but I pretty much almost kill Naja just with the Drakul Pylon dealing damage throughout this run. And I get very close to removing all the health. I'm not sure if putting on the super shots is delaying the damage between those bursts, and if it will be better to not place the super shots, but we did get very close. And this is just a view from the attacker's end, showing that the shield remains active the whole time. He doesn't have to renew the shield at all, never runs out of rage, the shield never breaks, and only damage is being taken when the pylon is shooting its beam attack. And we get very close to killing him, as we saw in the previous clip as well, but unfortunately did not get him down. And once again, just to show this magical timing of the towers in combination, the way they are set up, how all the shots hit around the same time, dealing a massive amount of damage to the dragon. So then I went and did a couple flights against my friend's base, who does also have the Drakul Pylon. It is in a different location. I only flew it with Noctarn and Morak a couple times, and it does add a bit of a difficulty to it. Certain dragons can avoid it quite easily, but I did not snow this tower just so I could see the damage it was dealing between my cloaks, and it does deal a pretty significant amount of damage. It has very quick damage. It's hard to blink it because it has pretty instant damage that it deals continuously. With Morak, it was a pretty similar thing. The very brief periods between defensive abilities, I would take some damage, but I was able to destroy the base pretty simply still. So it didn't really add too much complexity with Morak, but it is a very important tower that can help kill dragons quickly when they make mistakes, to allow the other towers to do a lot more damage. So I actually do like the Drakul Pylon so far. I'm very happy that I invested in it, and I plan to keep it on my base in the position that it is in, where I did that videos. And I don't know if I would invest in a second one in the future. I like the way my base is set up right now, and I can't put two on the same small island, so I probably won't be doing that. The other thing to consider is there is a possibility that PG will make the tower weaker. It does not sound like there is a lot of talk about that happening yet. It is always a future possibility, but I think more likely they'll keep the tower the same and potentially adjust the number of towers you can have on a base, if they even make any changes at all. But so far, there hasn't really been any talk about that, so we might not even have to worry about that happening. So if you were on the fence about getting this tower, or you wanted to wait and see some initial reviews, I definitely am happy with this tower, and I would recommend getting it if you are further along in the game, particularly with a long island. I don't believe that it will be very effective on a short island of 5, because I think its main advantage is its long range and its ability to time with other shots from the front island at the same time. With just 5 towers, most dragons are able to pick off the important towers right away, and so it's not too difficult, and so I'm not sure that this tower will be as effective. But if you have it on a short island, let me know how it goes. I would love to see some other opinions about that, and maybe some videos to see how well it does on a small island. But more so, I would recommend this for higher levels, greater than 350, who have moved to a long middle island. It does make a great addition. I am planning on making an updated base layout video in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. If you would like to practice against the Drakul Pylon, feel free to attack my base. My in-game name is Shivenzo. Feel free to message me and then attack me for practice. And as always, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it helped you make a decision for your base, and I will see you in the next video.